Hey everybody. Somebody had asked me in the messages, it's like, well, what can they really expect out of shamanism? And I'm like, well, that's kind of a long, long answer right there. But so what is it you're particularly looking to do? Well, I like to work with people. I like to help people heal with things, help people through traumas and so on. Okay, well, I can touch on that a little bit. People will hear me talk about classic markers, and I'll hear this in their healing, they'll hear that in apprenticeships. And a classic marker is when a person gets to a certain phase, and it's like we always hear people saying the exact same thing, at some point. It lets us know where they are in their progress, their growth, their spiritual journey. Some people, you just want to travel through shamanism to see what it does for them. And then sometimes in apprenticeships. One of the things that's a classic marker, and I'm also remembering when this first happened to me, is when you're working with people through different issues. It could be depression, it could be self-acceptance. I mean, people are beautifully complex creatures, and shamanism takes you into the really the deepest part of those complexities, the intricacies that make the human experience. And one of the most rewarding things, and it's just, in some ways it's a little, stunning, is when people will tell you, I don't get this. I've been seeing a therapist for 20 years. I've been on antidepressants for 20 years. I've seen all kinds of psychologists. I've done all these kind of programs. And here I am sitting with you for 2 hours, and all of a sudden it all makes sense. How come my therapist couldn't do that with me? How come my psychologist couldn't do that with me? How come? And I don't have an exact one-size-fits-all answer for that, of why the other people could not do that for that person at that particular appointment. The only thing I can tell you, and still it doesn't apply to every shaman because there's all the different techniques in there, but the difference is between these people that were trained by the system, went to college through the system and so on, they're trained to put everybody in some kind of box, some kind of a disorder, some kind of a case. And we don't do that. As shamans, we don't do that. The apprenticeship is to train people the intricacies of listening and observing and interpretations, and most importantly, empathing. Learning how to, you have to really build your core really secure so you're able to lose yourself in the appointment with someone else, in the sweat lodge, in the healing ceremonies, and really experience what it's like to be them for that moment, as you're still yourself. So this is what another comparison when I tell people, it's like living between the worlds. Well, not just this world and one other, this world and many others, because perception is reality. Perception is the world to people. Perceptions and understandings of things and regional DNA, all their programming makes their world. And we don't all share the same world. We somewhat do on the physical plane, but other than that, we're all unique. And the way that I really work with people to become that shaman is really nurturing their unique qualities first, and then teach them the other things around that. So then, as the person that becomes a shaman through this method is so unique and in their truth, they're not worried about not having the right answer, not making the conclusion. They're in that, they allow themselves to be in that continual moment with that person in that appointment, no matter what it is, to be totally there for them. And you can call it the mass consciousness, divine consciousness, or whatever, their higher self. But now it's open to communicate to you about what you need to say, what you need to ask about, how you need to change your voice, the environment you need to take this person to. And that's why we're able to do so much work with so many people in such a short amount of time. That's just one reason. And people will say, well, what is it you do? If you could describe what you do, in just 2 words, I say, we care. We genuinely care. And that allows us, if we've gone through the work to really be true to our core, it allows us to abandon ourselves to be part of their journey and to ride with them through that. and experience it the way they do, the best that we can possibly do it in our own experience. So that's, if you're interested in working with people and helping people, really attune themselves to a really good path in their life and accept themselves, and be willing to say, yeah, maybe I don't like myself, but I have a plan now, and I have somebody support me in my journey through change to be the person that I want to be. If you're looking to do that kind of work with people, yeah, this is the profession for you. Catch you guys later.